Welcome back to the preview show. You know who we are. I'm Casey Campbell. That's Jonathan Fiel from Racing Experts, of course. And we're here to preview Richmond. But before we get to that, what'd you think of Coda last week?
Wow, what a fun finish there. We saw, Ross Chastain get his first win in the NASCAR Cup Series over AJ Allmendinger. But don't forget, the man who backs into wins almost backed into another win. It was kind of funny during the truck race on Saturday. Alex Bowman was up front near the end, and I think it was spotter or crew chief said, "All right, man, show him how you back into one." And Bowman was like, "Ha, I see what you did there." And he almost did it again on Sunday. Good racing, a lot of fun out there. Great to see what these guys can do with the Gen 7 car. I think a lot of us were concerned about, is it going to make the racing too easy? Is it going to make it, fundamentally different? Is it going to take away from the racing? But once again, Gen 7 car comes through very well. It was a good race.
Yeah, it was. It was a solid weekend. Ross Chastain got it done. Of course, AJ Allmendinger won the Xfinity race, and Zane Smith won the truck race. So, big weekend at Richmond coming up here today. First, want to say happy birthday to our preview show colleague and our good friend Mitchell Brewer. Hope you're enjoying it today, buddy.
I have a nickname for him, and this is only because he's soon to be married, and this will soon be his title, Papa Mitchell. Papa Mitchell. Happy birthday, Papa Mitchell.
I'm sure he would love that. Okay, that will go over well. Of course, we are going to Richmond this weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Truck Series is off this weekend, but the Whelen Modified Tour is back. They're going to be racing actually tomorrow night. We'll talk more about that when we get to picks later in the show. But let's talk about this weekend at Richmond. We're 6 races through the season. Who's kind of your standout guys?
I think about Trackhouse Racing, just everything they've been able to do this season. They've been impressive. Before Suarez had the spin at the start of stage 2, he was looking the guy who's going to be on top, just like Chastain was. Had the spin, he came back, didn't have a great finish, not the day he wanted, but Chastain, obviously was the favorite. He emerges as the favorite throughout the race and has just been so good. He's had a streak of 4 consecutive top 3 finishes, nearly won at Las Vegas, nearly won at Atlanta, nearly won at Phoenix, finally broke through at Coda. Trackhouse Racing's got my eye. I think another team that's got my eye too, per usual. I mean, it's kind of a broken record at this point if you've been a NASCAR fan for a while, but Hendrick Motorsports, I mean, at the end there, we were all raving about Chastain possibly getting his first win, Reddick possibly getting his first win, Allmendinger coming in, with his one of his rare appearances in the Cup Series, possibly stealing a win. But there was Alex Bowman, like I mentioned, looking to get another win for Hendrick Motorsports. With our 3 first-time winners, we've had, 3. The other 3 winners have been all from Hendrick, so they've been really good this season. Trackhouse, Hendrick, on top of the world right now.
I just think, and kind of expanding on your point there, Chevrolet has just been really, really good throughout this point. Really a lot of the Chevy teams are working together like never before. Like, we've seen games across the Chevy camp so far between Hendrick Motorsports, Trackhouse, RCR has performed well. We've seen Petty GMS have some good runs so far this season. It just seems like those Chevrolets have been fast. We saw Colleague up there. JTG's been up there in the field. Help me out here. I'm gonna forget somebody. I think I got everybody.
Yeah, pretty much everybody.
It's you got to beat the bow tie brigade.
And Eric Jones as well. He's been doing pretty good at times.
And just really, really across the board. You look at Xfinity too. Outside of Ty Gibbs, that Chevy's kind of been dominant in there. And Truck Series is a different story. but overall, I think, at least for Cup Xfinity, Chevrolet's been pretty good across the board.
They've been really good. And one guy who I think has been breaking up the party a little bit, but just needs that little boost in performance just to get to that next level. And honestly, is sadly just need that little boost of performance for a few years now. Ryan Blaney, because he's run really well, he's qualified really well, but just hasn't been around at the end to contend for wins and contend closely, whether it's bad luck or whether it's, just something happens along the way that takes away his track position and takes him out of contention for the win. He's done well this season. He just needs a little bit more. And I think that might come, but we'll get to that later.
Yes.
Later, we'll get to that.
We will get to that. And kind of also talking about, we talked about Chevrolet having performance-wise. There's been another group of cars that have been performing as well, and that's Ford. We've seen an increase in performance in their camp as well. Not with all the teams, but obviously Penske had a good weekend last week. All three cars were running up toward the front of the field with Cindric, Logano, and Blaney before they all had some issues. And then Stewart-Haas Racing's been up there too.
They've been good, and talking about Blaney and how well he's qualified, the top three qualifiers in the series right now, as far as average start, it's Blaney, then Cindric, then Logano. They've got the best average start right now in the series, and that goes all the way back to 14 when we saw Logano and Keselowski. They aced the first year of group qualifying, then or knockout qualifying. So the Fords are looking really good. Kevin Harvick has looked pretty solid, not quite back to where he was in 2020, 2019 or so, but has looked a little bit better. The team showed some life, and Eric Almirola's had some good consistency. Chase Briscoe, how could I forget him? Chase Briscoe's been a real stud this season, just really performing. I don't want to say head and shoulders above where we thought he was going to be, but performing better than what we thought he was going to be, the level he was going to be performing at. Continue at Fontana, did well at Coda, battle with Chastain and Allmendinger, did pretty good at Atlanta, won at Phoenix. It's been fun to see him really break out and have a good season.
Yeah, for sure. So, we're going to play a game like we always do on here. We always like to play a game. We'll save gas and go for next week. How about that? We'll try to get a third person for that. I mean, we could do a
game I thought you were going to play, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? If you want to do it, we can.
We can do a little bit. Sure.
Okay,
Get me warmed up for next week.
Okay. So, I'm just going to give you a number of topics, and you're going to have a limited amount of time to kind of really just
talk about
it. Just describe them and see how it goes. Okay.
That sounds good, Chris.
Yeah, I do the jokes around here. I mean, I love Chris Myers. And Chris Myers does follow. I hope you watch this because I know you do follow me on Twitter. So
just recently celebrated birthday. Happy birthday to him. But yes, gas and go.
Yes. Okay. First topic, 30 seconds. Are you concerned with Joe Gibbs Racing?
No, I think recently it's just been a really tough string of races, especially at Phoenix, where they just had some bad luck. Atlanta was a wild card track. Coda wasn't great. I'm not concerned for them. They ran well at Las Vegas. I think we'll start to see their performance really emerge, especially this weekend at Richmond, where Denny and Kyle and Truex and Bell are all good there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good for that. It's just maybe we'll see those Toyotas really kind of getting in there and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Ran 1, 2, 3, 4 at one point in last year's race in the fall.
They did have that. That was pretty cool. Well, yeah, I mean, talk about 1, 2, 3, 4s. I mean, remember when ThorSport had it at Las Vegas back in the truck race back then? So, I mean, it can be done. Okay, speaking of trucks, we'll get a truck topic in here. Biggest surprise of the season for the trucks.
Biggest surprise, as far as this season in the truck series, I've been surprised that John Hunter Nemechek hasn't put up the results we thought that he was going to be putting up this season. Of course, now he's starting to improve, starting to get better. I think it's cool to see Derek Kraus perform well as he has been. Um, I would probably say Derek Kraus being up there in the top 10. That's been a little bit of a surprise to me. It's cool to see.
That's the timer on here. You get
Just beat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tanner Gray too. That's another one.
Yeah, Tanner Gray has. Oh my goodness, that team is real. Again, I talk about Ford. Ford has really performed across the board. You know, in Xfinity, we've seen Riley Herbst run well. We've seen those seat cars run well. Plus, we've also seen in the truck series, Tanner Gray's running well. The Ford team that's won multiple races, Zane Smith, that front row team, I'd say right now they are the team to beat unless the KBMs can come, unless we have the 18 truck. John Hunter puts good runs together. I think that 38 team right now is the championship favorite.
Yeah, I would retract what I said and say Zane Smith's 2 wins are probably the biggest surprise, along with Tanner Gray.
I mean, Tanner Gray's been obviously one of the biggest surprises.
Well
only
he
had
has, because Tanner Gray is tied. Yeah, this season too, elite level. That's been fun to watch. So.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I know that it's been exciting, a lot of exciting announcements this week, you know, surrounding another motorsports. Of course, yeah, Formula One's going to Las Vegas. Kind of a fun topic here. Where would you like to see NASCAR go? Like a new track, new area. Where would you, if you could pick one, where do you think it would be?
Ooh, wait, say that one more time again. I want to make sure I heard that right.
If you could pick any new track, any new area to go to, where would it be for NASCAR?
For NASCAR, I would say, well, obviously they're going to Portland coming up this summer. I would love it if the Cup Series would go there, because, you know, you're so close to the Seattle market, and that's a lot of potential up there for what NASCAR could do. Obviously, it's a little far away from Seattle, you know, a good 3-4 hour drive, but right down the road, it could be something really good. Heavy promotion. I'd say Portland.
Okay.
For the Cup Series.
For the Cup Series, yeah. Okay, we've covered a Cup topic, truck topic, Xfinity topic. How many wins do you think Ty Gibbs will get this year?
I know you said 13, but
that's the bench. I mean, he could do that.
He could. I think a reasonable number is 8. You know, you have guys like Allmendinger, you have JRM looking really good. I think 8 for Ty.
Okay. Yeah, and something, and of course, if you haven't watched it, we had Chris Gale on before the COTA race. You know, if they're not the top running car, they're not. I mean, if they're going to stick with and get that solid finish, yeah, they want to get in, win every week, but they have not had a complete race this year. And they feel like, yeah, they've won 2 races so far, but they were in the right position at the right time. They haven't gone out and really dominated a race yet. We could see that this weekend at Richmond, a place where he did lead a lot of laps last year, but ultimately didn't end up winning the race.
I think to that point, I think that speaks to Ty Gibbs' maturation, because oftentimes we do not see young drivers going up there and grabbing wins late in the race. That's often like a very veteran thing to do, you know, like go up there and grab a win late, you know, after sticking it out. So I think that's really good for Ty, that he's getting those types of wins and learning.
Okay. All right. Next topic. We talked about Ty Gibbs. let's talk about Sam Mayer. He got his first top 5 of the season. Where are your expectations? Where do you think they're at for the one team this year?
I think by the end of the season, we should be seeing him reel off a couple wins by the end of the season. For right now, though, I think he just needs to keep on running top 5, top 10, keep finishing where he runs, and just keep the car clean, because that's been his biggest thing. Just keep the car clean, get your finishes.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good there. But he's got a really energetic crew chief with him. Taylor Moyer, of course, he brought the 8 team from last year over to the 1 team. So the 1 team, which was Michael Annette's team last year, now is with the 8 team, the team that Josh Berry won at with at Las Vegas last year. So Taylor and Sam have been a really good pairing with crew chiefs. I know that, of course, Sam worked with Marty Lindley for so many years when Sam was at GMS. So it's good for him to see, and JRM's just been firing off on all cylinders. Yes, Justin Allgaier may have not had the luck he's wanted this year. I'm surprised he hasn't been to victory lane. The only actually JRM driver to be in victory lane is Noah. I think that changes. I don't think that's going to be the case much longer. I do think that Josh, Justin, and Sam, along with Noah, will get more wins this year. I think we see all 4 junior motorsports cars in victory lane this year. So, and Sam's win might be coming sooner rather than later. We got some good tracks coming up for him. I think Dover's a really fun play. He likes those concrete tracks because it got a lot of monster mile stuff in them. So there we go. Oh,
yeah.
All right. You know what it's time for. It's time for the picks. Let's get to this right now. I think Jonathan's internet is kind of a little bit shaky here, so I'll kind of carry on the show if Jonathan pops back up. The Whelen Modified Tour will be back this weekend at Richmond. Of course, I'm not the best in terms of this modified thing, but I don't know. Ryan Newman's going to be in this modified race this weekend. So I will be taking him this week, and who knows what could happen. And the first race for Ryan Newman in 2022 this season. Okay. For the Xfinity Series, I really don't know what to expect. I just have a hard time not going against that 54 team with Ty Gibbs. So I'm just going to stick with the Gibbs and go with Ty as Jonathan appears back on the screen. Hopefully. So I'll just keep talking as it gone in there. I picked modifieds, and I was about to, who did you pick? Cause I think I took the 54. Who'd you take?
Ooh, we're picking modifieds. Okay. So, I'm excited to see Ryan Newman return to the series. It's really cool. Obviously he was out of a ride after last season. That was unfortunate. Who I think is going to win this race coming up on Friday night, the Whelen Modified Tour, always great to see them racing at Richmond, is a guy who he's been a favorite lately, and with Ryan Priest not on the field, because he was, of course, the defending winner. I think Eric Good's going to get done. I think he'll get it done.
Yep. Good to see them. Modifieds will be on tomorrow night at, I believe, 6:30. You can catch it on Flow Racing. Remember, all of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tours, along with the ARCA East and West and all the ARCA races that are on MAV TV, and all the NASCAR weekly races will be on Flow Racing. It's a good effort because you can get a lot of racing on that platform. So I know the price could be a little bit expensive, but it's a good effort there. All right. Who are you going to take for Xfinity?
It is.
Jonathan, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, man. Did you get my pick for modified?
Yeah, I did. Xfinity, who you got?
So for the Xfinity series, I think, we talked about JRM before, and we talked about Sam Mayer. Well, to put the two together, I'm going to say, for the first time in the NASCAR Xfinity series, Sam Mayer is going to get the win.
Ooh.
He's going to get his first win. Number one, for car number one, Sam Mayer.
I guess there's a new number one in town, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to see him win.
Be a big win.
Oh God, Sam's gonna hate me for this. Well, the thing is, you guys just leave him on the table, and for me to swipe in and take. So I'm just gonna stick with the Gibbs, and I'll take Ty.
There you go. I think we need to implement that rule we were talking about now.
Oh, hey, no one else had picked him, so.
Mm-hmm.
Why
not?
Hey, why not?
Redemption.
Yeah, and there's someone there, and obviously it's the Toyota Care 250. So
Toyota will take care on the field, that's for sure.
Aaron Bearden, and of course you got John Hunter Nemechek in the field as well. He'll be in the 18, so he's gonna have us wrong there. Brandon Jones, Derek Griffith's gonna make his Xfinity Series debut this weekend as well. Also, the two drivers from Alpha Prime Racing gonna make their debuts. Of course, Howie DeSpino in the 45. Raja Karut's gonna make his debut as well. I know you got a chance to talk with him. A story that will be coming up later on the Racing Experts later before this race weekend. Good stuff there. Raja is one of the best people out there. Of course, I got a chance to talk with him later on today. You'll see that interview. You'll also see an interview with Lawless Allen uploaded later today that I did earlier this afternoon. So good stuff there. Okay, the Cup Series, Toyota Owners 400. Who you got?
This guy has not done very well at Richmond. It's a very famous thing, actually, if you are a fan of his, but he has a lot of momentum on his side. If he can get a good qualifying position, good starting position, and maintain that pace throughout the race. I talked about him earlier. He is the best qualifier in the series right now. I think he's going to be the best at Richmond. Ryan Blaney gets his first win at Richmond, first win of the season. I think he gets it done this weekend.
That's a solid pick. That is a very good pick. The 12 team's been running really well this season. They haven't won yet, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have 7 different winners to start the season, just like we did last year. Mm-hmm. And I just can't believe you guys left him on the table again. But I'm going to take young money. Kyle Larson will be the first repeat winner of the season this weekend at the Toyota Owners 400. So
struggled last year in this race, but you can't bet against Kyle Larson, even if he didn't do well in the previous year's race.
And by the way, talking about the previous show standings, guess who's leading? You.
I went from outhouse to penthouse, as Ken Squire used to say back in the day.
Of course, you got to quote the great Ken Squire. Fun stuff there. Lots of fun things. Lots of fun things going on. By the way, here is the standings. You're leading by 2 points over Marty Takal from Morrison trackside. 13 points behind in front of Nathan Solomon from the Podium Finish, who will actually be covering this weekend's races at Richmond. So give him a follow if you haven't. 26 points above the 26 points ahead of the birthday boy Mitchell Brewer. 34 points ahead of our good friend Harry Loomis. 45 points behind me, and rounding out the back is RJ Starsvik, of course, from the NASCAR Report on Instagram, and of course they also host of the Drivers Meeting podcast. So that is going to be it for the preview show. Thanks for putting up with Jonathan's internet issues. We will catch you next week. Special time Wednesday. Of course, the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series will be at Martinsville this weekend. Oh, and one more thing. I want to give a big shout out, a couple actually. One to Dennis Bickmeyer. Of course, the Richmond track president. This is his last race as the track president. He's still going to remain in the area, going to work in a different capacity within the Richmond area, but he'll still be around. And also, I want to send my best wishes to our good friend and colleague, Davey Siegel, of course, who would be at this race at Richmond, but announced on Twitter today that he tested positive for COVID-19. So don't worry, he's doing well, and hope you feel better, because he's got to stretch a race.
You got more TikToks to do.
Oh, he's got some. He'll still do those TikToks. I mean, you can still do TikToks in quarantine. But anyway, seriously, feel better, buddy. Yeah. We'll see you at the track some point.
Wish him well.
Yes.
Yeah, wish you well, Davey. Hope you get better, man. Unfortunate that had to happen, but we got you. Yeah, he
survived not getting COVID for 2+ years, and then obviously that's up there.
That's impressive.
Yes. All right. We'll talk to you next week at Martinsville. You never know who's going to be on these channels. This has been the preview show.